Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Today, the new Space Marine 2 patch randomly dropped for whatever reason. I don't really know what happened here, but it just came out. So we have the new content for operations. It says, hi, Space Marines. The latest patch is here. It brings new content along with various tweaks and improvements. Make sure you read the full note here. New content, new picture. Always fun to look at the art. Man. Okay, so it looks pretty cool. So they added new lethal difficulty for ops. Major highlights are ammo crates have limited refills per player. Majora's enemies can become enraged and will be more deadly and harder to kill. Armor restores from finishers only if you stay close to your battle brothers. And overcoming such a challenge will grant you new cosmetics, ... This sounds like coherency from Darktide. I guess you're going to have to stay close to be able to get armor back off of your finishers. So I guess armor disparity is going to be a thing if you don't play together. So if you have people that run off alone, it's probably not going to be very good. We'll log in and play a game before I post a full patch note video. What did I just do? Anyways, added photo mode in operations, works only in solo. Also, characters can now follow the camera with their eyes. Wait, this is cool. I actually like the idea. I don't know. Taking cool screenshots is always fun, so that's great. Gameplay and balancing tweaks. Melee archetypes. Fencing weapons, perfect parry window will not have the same duration as balanced weapons, but it will start from the first frame of the parry animation. Okay, so maybe parry nerf? Not really too sure what that means, to be completely honest with you. We'll find out really quick. Melee perks. Chainsword, power fist, combat knife, charge attacks. Perks get significant damage increase. Okay. Do you guys think that they fixed the power fist like punch to the ground? That talent is... it's so pathetic. Charge attack perks. Do these even really have charge attack perks other than things like the double stomp, the fist the ground, and then I don't think they have any actual damage increase on charge attacks perks, so it's probably just the actual abilities themselves. Basic OSEC sense damage bonuses on bosses reduced by 30%. That's a big nerf for a game where its difficulty slider is arbitrarily scaling HP up per difficulty. I don't think I like that, because lethal difficulty is just going to increase the health of the enemies anyways. So that's an L change. Big time L change. Melted charge damage to bosses reduced by 70%. Why we do a patch? Why is that? This is literally the meme for fun PvE game. Like, for sure. Like, it's just executions. It's just stylish. It's not supposed to be something super hardcore, but I guess that's what they're leaning into. We'll continue down the patch notes, but this is big L right off the rip with 2 nerfs. Enemy spawn, director PvE. Tweaked idle spawns. Enemy variety within waves is now less random, while enemy variety between waves is larger. So hopefully there's just more enemies to kill. That was one of my main complaints last patch, was that there was just not enough guys to kill. But we'll see. Extremist enemies can now spawn with additional enemies. I wonder what that means. So like extremists can have like a pack of gaunts with them or something, or warriors or something. I guess we'll see later on. But having more enemies is good. It just makes me worry. Oh, hang on. Difficulty. Well, we'll see. I'll be keeping reading patch notes. Difficulty. Ruthless ammo crates have limited refills per player. I think that's valid. That's probably okay. Player armor reduced by 20% and player armor reduced by 10%. This is on Ruthless and Substantial. I wonder what the new lethal difficulty slider is. We'll just keep reading. Note from the devs. With patch 3, we have noticed that operations mode became noticeably easier. They were always really easy, especially chaos operations. We are happier with what we have right now compared to what we had on release, because before patch 3, chaos missions were unpopular. They're still unpopular. The spam iframe teleporting is ridiculous. It's not fun to play against. Still, we think the current operations mode is a bit too easy. What are the odds that they completely messed the difficulty slider up and didn't do what they say they were going to by making us overpowered, because it's okay to be overpowered in a PvE game? What do you guys think the odds are of that, real quick? We'll see. Overall, these changes are going to make operations harder, but it is difficult to measure by how much. We will continue to monitor these changes and adjust balance of operations mode. This is not the last change. Reducing armor is bad. I'm going to be honest with you. Because again, like lethal, the monsters are going to do way more damage. PvP, increased delay between answer PvP messages. Starting enemies should grab the launcher shorter in PvP. That's good. A little more fluid. Fixed power phase in PvP doing too much damage with short charge attacks. Okay. AI. Enemy dodges globally replace full invulnerability on dodge moves of enemies with heavy melee damage resistance. Yeah, so enemy dodge on frame 1 of their dodge used to be invulnerable. I don't understand why they even have heavy melee damage resistance. I guess melee damage resistance is fine because you'll still do full range damage, so that makes ranged weapons feel a lot better and way less inconsistent. But yeah, this full iframe needed to go. Rubric Marine with bolt gun, disengage teleport max distance slightly reduced. This needs to be removed from... honestly, the Rubric Marine should not be able to teleport unless there's a sorcerer nearby. I'm a die on that hill. I don't care. I think it is the most horrendous thing to play against when you're playing melee because they just spam it and it sucks. And they can spam order attacks too. So I know I'm complaining a lot, but I don't know. These patch notes are weird. Anyways, customization. Okay. More options for colors, customization, chaos. All right. More customization is always good. Vox Liberalis Demon Hiss disabled, respawn until the last altar in the final area. So if you die, okay, I mean, you could, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. General fixes. Assault Perk Ascension could kill its owner. This only happened if you guys, we made notes of it in Discord. The only way you could die to this is if you had a crack grenade on hand. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. As long as you just didn't pick crack grenades, it wouldn't kill you. Fix the bug where the sniper perk target shot wasn't always active. Okay. Animation cancel Bulwark using the block, which resulted in faster attacks. That sucks. That was fun. They shouldn't remove stuff like this. Anyways, fixing your tactical team perk, close targeting not triggering. Good. Rating impact not triggering, also good. Sniper perk, Guardian Protocol not working correctly. Fix an issue where sound was lost after switching the speaker configuration. Okay, trials, Thunderhammer, patience rewarded. UI fixes, tech fixes, crashes, performance, whatever. All right, so we logged in really quick to go see the new Neo Volkite pistol and new stuff. Okay, so first impressions of the patch notes are basically spot on. The Volkite pistol and Dark Angel's cosmetics are coming at a later date, and after playing through the new mission a few times, the locking and lethal with the boys, I do have to say the idea and layout of it is really cool as you progress it. There's always 2 paths you can walk, and I really like that. I think it's cool, and I think it adds a lot of replay value to stuff like this, and I think a lot of people are going to like it too. But like it's like the first 90% of the map is amazing. I really enjoy it. I like the event in the middle. It's great. I'm not going to go too crazy with the spoilies on it, but the ending sequence is also very tedious and makes you recharge the last cannon multiple times. And that paired with the area denial of the boss, combined with my most hated mechanic in the game to spin the wheel, is basically just became Hellstrike 2.0 for me. So I think that probably needs to be looked at a little bit, but it's my first time doing it, so I might have been doing it wrong. Either way, though, I don't like spinning the wheel. Is what it is. The new extremist changes also to spawn 2 of them at the same time. So think double Ravener or like double Terminators or 4 Zoanthropes. I think it's fine until you get 4 Zoanthropes. Then it's just the worst possible change ever. I also felt like we were getting a lot more spawns, at least on lethal, with the enemy variety felt a lot better and we were killing a lot more stuff. So I think they're at least trying to make it feel more swarmy, which is a good thing, but this is also where the praise ends. I genuinely thought that they learned their lesson with the last update and were working towards making this game feel like it's okay to be overpowered, but the nerfs don't really make sense when the difficulty slider is so arbitrary, and the new lethal difficulty just focuses on making the game cheesy and gimmicky instead of fun. We're back to that like Glass Cannon meta we had before, where we just take a ridiculous amount of damage. And I'm okay with difficulty sliders in being challenge in like fun, cool, and interesting ways. But the more you play this patch, the more you're going to see that it pushes a really boring gameplay loop and a very specific meta when half of the guns in the game just feel terrible to use. If you're unaware, the old sliders for enemy increases before were just like damage and HP increases. And I'll date them on the new stat line later and post in Discord, but this Reddit thread had it all done like really early on. So that's the first link in the description for you right beside the patch notes. But I think that the theory behind nerfing armor and increasing enemy damage right after a patch where they reduced enemy range damage and buffed armor is just completely counterproductive, and it doesn't make any sense at all. And this is the kind of thing that I was worried about, where we would just be going back and forth for basically forever. And in my opinion, what the difficulty slider should be is like the terminus enemy should be obliterating you, right? And the extremist enemy should be smoking you. But there's so many Majoris enemies that doesn't really make sense for them to be one-shotting you. And just having so many enemies on the screen, like just having more guys and being swarmed by, like, let's say we were killing 2,000 or 3,000 enemies a mission with the last difficulty slider, I think that would have been fine, and that would have been perfect, and most people wouldn't have been able to do the hardest difficulty. I was also under the impression that the changes to bolt guns and enemy HP were going to be with this big update. Anyways, I'm just not sure what kind of game they actually want this to be anymore, and I feel like this patch was rushed out for some reason. Let me know what you think about that, but I also know like 15% of the player base has ever beat a ruthless mission, so I'm probably just going to get told to stop crying about it. But I genuinely think that this is a bad direction for the long-term health of the game and is disconnected from what we were sold from the chief creative officer. Again, you guys know what kind of difficulty sliders I like. I like being forced into making mistakes. I don't like every single individual mistake being the end of my character. It feels bad to play. But anyways, let me know how you're feeling about it. Maybe do a first impressions comment and then come back with a later comment to compare them and see how you feel after you've played a couple of the missions. I think that would be a lot of fun, but that's gonna be all for now. I wish you the best of luck out there.